The reason for the exactness of the Note series is the larger screen with S Pen, but with the normalization of the larger screen in phones and the removal of the Note series for this year, can the Z Fold 3 fill the vacancy of the Note series? This video is a review of the best foldable phone to date, the Galaxy Z Fold 3. Let's the video. The special part of this $1,700 phone is the design. The weight of this device is 271 grams and its thickness is 16 mm in the folded state and 6.4 mm in the unfolded state. Its cover display size is 6.2 inches with 25:9 ratio and its inner display size is 7.6 inches with 4:3 ratio. When you want to use it as a phone, you will see a very tall and narrow display that has a selfie camera on top, and only 75% of the front panel is the display, which is bad. In addition to the high thickness, the thickness of the left side is more than the right side, and it is really heavy and the phone is not comfortable at all. The back and front panels are both protected by Gorilla Glass Victus, and the middle frame and hinges are made of armor aluminum that Samsung said it is more durable than regular and have a flagship body material. The back panel has 3 camera lenses vertically and the panel is completely matte, and in addition to its special beauty, it is not a fingerprint magnet. But the Z Fold 3 is made to be a tablet as well. First of all, the quality of the hinge is excellent and it can be placed at any angle. In addition, it is the first foldable waterproof phone with IPX8 standard, but dust is still its main enemy. In the inner panel there is a larger screen with a selfie camera below the screen, which of course can be seen when the screen shows white or completely black. But in general, about 89% of the inner panel is the display, which has a wonderful feeling, and the problem of thickness and heaviness is completely eliminated in the tablet mode. But it has 2 very big problems. First, the inner display protector is plastic. Although Samsung has said that the internal display is 80% more durable than last year, it is still scratched even with nails and the display is very soft. Secondly, there is a large recess in the middle of the screen, and in addition to being clearly visible, it also tarts, which is really bad. The inner display supports a special type of S Pen that must be purchased separately with a holder case, which is not as good as a Note series. Both displays are 2x dynamic AMOLED and the resolution of both is Full HD+, and their pixel density is 374 ppi, and they also support HDR10+ content. The depth of black and the contrast of both displays are great and shows very dynamic colors. The brightness of the displays is around 1200 nits, and as expected from the OLED panel there is no problem to see the content in it, even under sunlight, but most applications are not compatible with the long aspect ratio of the cover and the square aspect ratio of the inner display. And you may see lags that have nothing to do with hardware, which is annoying. But this time both displays supports 120Hz adaptive refresh rate, which has very good speed and battery consumption. In terms of security, the Z Fold 3 has a side-mounted fingerprint sensor that is conveniently located, and its speed and security are really excellent too. But Samsung does not pay much attention to the camera in its special phones. The main lens of this phone is 12 megapixels. The photos have good dynamic range and white balance, but the detail and sharpness are not as good as flagship. In portrait photos, the subject separates well from the background and the background blur is done naturally. In night mode, it cannot be said that the photos have no noise, but it is very low and the detail and exposure increase well. The ultra-wide Z Fold 3 lens is also 12 megapixels. Detail and sharpness are reduced compared to the main lens, and the edges of the photos are slightly noisy, but the viewing angle is wide and good. The telephoto lens is 12 megapixels and has up to 2 times of optical zoom. You can feel the lens change in zoom mode, but the photo quality in double zoom mode is quite acceptable. You can take a selfie with the main camera, which is great. Also, when taking a photo of a person, he can see himself in the cover display, or you can even open the phone halfway and use it as a stand. And these features are great. I wish the cameras were better. With the main camera, you can record 4K 60 frames per second video, and the performance of its OIS stabilizer is quite satisfactory. The selfie camera of the cover display is 10 megapixels. The photos have good detail, but the dynamic range and sharpness are not very good. With the selfie camera you can record 4K video at 30 frames per second, which I suggest you take a selfie with the same main camera, because if you can, why not? But the selfie camera under the inner display is only 4 megapixels, which in addition to the unreviewable and bad quality, there is also a soft mode on the photos, which can only be said to be a camera just for video calling. In terms of hardware, this foldable has a Snapdragon 888 and 12 gigabits of LPDDR5 RAM. There is no lag or slowness in this phone, but due to the special ratio of screens and the incompatibility of apps with them, you see lags. The overheating is also very noticeable in the Z Fold 3, which is not really good for this price, and Samsung should work more on the cooling system of these special phones. The memory of this device is 256 or 512 gigabits of UFS 3.1, which has really high speed. This phone has 3 years of software support, and at the time of release it has Android 11 and One UI 3.1.1. This year the compatibility of software with the features of the phone has reached its peak, and you can fully enjoy its features and is really great for multitasking. For example, you can comment while watching my video on YouTube. But the main problem with Samsung foldable phones is the battery. The Z Fold 3 battery is 4400 mAh of lithium polymer, which is not enough at all due to the high battery consumption in this phone, and it can only work without the charger only in the morning until the afternoon in semi-heavy use. There is no charger in the box, but it supports a 25 watt wired and 11 watt wireless charger, and it takes about an hour to fully charge. The Z Fold 3 speaker is a stereo and has been tuned by AKG, which has a great sound volume and produces medium and low sounds well, but like all phones it does not produce good bass. After all, is Z Fold 3 worth buying? Yes, if you're looking for a special and future phone, it is a good choice, but otherwise there are much better choices. But can this phone replace the Note series? No, because the difference between these two series is very large, and in addition, the Note series pen, in addition to being with phone, has a good place in the phone itself and offers more and better features. And best of all, it's an upgraded S series, and deleting it forever isn't much good. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, like it, and if you like my content, subscribe to my channel. Goodbye, see you in next video.